guys. Hey, the coronavirus is going around, so I pretty much have to wear my mask, so, yeah. Anyways, stay tuned for your previous, technically scheduled program. Hopefully y'all can actually enjoy it as much as I can. Anyways, guys, have a nice day.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Templar and welcome back, and today we are talking about one of my newest items. That will be this item. This is a Norman period type helmet. This is from Allbeststuff.com. Now I actually have both these helmets here to prove a point. This is my Viking Sprengenhelm, or Viking Nasal Sprengenhelm, and we're actually comparing it to this one here. Now I believe Allbest did a very great job at making this is historically accurate because it actually has the nose point or the nose guard in the process protrude downward at a type of slope and as well widens. However, it's slightly different comparing that to this one, which has a wider brim nozzle. And as you can see, it does not have the eyebrows. Now, however, as we could see, some Norman style helmets did have eyebrows on their helmets. However, it probably depended. Now though, these are really cool helmets. Even though still, however, these ones were technically of a evolved version from this model, and of which technically these models like this one were technically still being used by the time of the Crusades, however later on being replaced by these, mainly because of the evolution of the helmet. Now, as we can see, it's not held in place with these four pieces. In fact, as we can tell, these rivets actually are meant to hold at least these four plates together into this form. While this one is just a whole type of helmet. Now, mainly a nobleman type helmet like this would be technically seen during the early periods of the, say, the Battle of Hastings, for example, such as William the Bastard, or known as William the Conqueror, might have worn this, or Harold Godwinson or Harold Hardrada might have worn this, while their foot soldiers might have worn something like this. So these are huge different versions. Now, as we can see, they actually have, this one has a wider design of head design, while this one does not. Now, why is that? It's kind of obvious, because of the fact of how these helmets were manufactured. Now, this helmet in general, if I was to wear it without any padding and such, it does not look like much, I know. But the thing is, while wearing this, as you can see in here, you actually see me wearing this said helmet with the arming cap and such, and as well also with the mail, which I wanted to actually put that up there because, yeah. Now, if y'all want to actually see me put on the whole mail and such, here's the thing. I will leave a link down below for y'all if y'all want to see that. Now, anyways, these helmets were incredibly badass at the time, and as well, they kind of still technically are. Now, the reason these helmets actually evolved from this, well, technically from this model to this model, is kind of actually awesome in general. Now, however, as I stated, this one does not come with eyebrows. Now, Allbest, they do have newer models that do have eyebrows on them. I decided to go with this one because I felt it looked a little more Crusader-like, and as well, these are even known as the Crusader type nasal helm, compared to the regular Viking nasal helm like this one. However, I still rather prefer this one, but this one I do like, especially because of the look of how Crusader it looks. Now, how about we also take a look to their sides, shall we? As we can see, this one is a lot different compared to this one. As you can see, this one actually has that center slope design, of which it technically it has that attachment to the cranial cavity design, and as well it has a more sloping design to it, while this one has a more roundish design. Now I hear you already. Templar, what do you mean by that? Here's the thing. This one has a more circular design. This one, however, has a more ovalish design. In other words, it's technically a pointed oval. In other words, if you were to take your hands, for example, and clasp them together and you make a, what you might call a hard-shaped or a hard-tipped type of oval. Now, as we can tell, this helmet does have this, well, protruding design to it. As well, this can actually deflect a said weapon, such as if it comes down this way. as you can see, the weapon would technically deflect downward, or as well, it could actually even deflect to the side, especially if someone comes hitting to the side end. What could happen is the weapon could still deflect to the side. Now, this actually can work perfectly. However, this was technically an innovation in the armor design from this model, because this model does not have that same design to it, due to the fact it does not have this sharp protrude here, that of which actually causes a said weapon to deflect to the side. And due to this being mainly riveted, this is heavier than this one. In fact, this one is lighter and extremely lighter than this model. How so? Lighter, it's technically like a pound or two lighter, which is really impressive. Now, as you want, if any of y'all want to buy any of the Norman version of helmets from Allbest, be my guest. I will leave links down below for y'all of the mini versions. As I stated, you can choose whichever one you want to buy, be my guest. Now, these do look incredibly badass, especially if you were to wear it with mail, for example, because this is technically perfect for that. In fact, it's actually stated that the mail and Norman helmet are a perfect combination to stopping a said weapon. Now, though, as I stated before, if you were to wear it mainly just with a cotton cap like this, then technically it can still work. Problem is, most of the time, during the ancient warfare, this would technically have been used either with or without. Well, this would normally probably have been used mainly with mail. So we can see how that actually works into play. So how come this helmet actually evolved from this model? Well, that's actually kind of obvious, because this model technically evolved from this model mainly because of the Vikings, or the Norsemen, as we should probably pronounce them a little correctly. However, if we take a look at it, if we take a look at, say, Normandy, for example, we do know that many Vikings, for example, that established themselves there, especially with Rollo, who in the process actually established a Viking kingdom there, and later on became the Duchy of Normandy under none other than William the Bastard, who pretty much was technically of Norman descent, or Norseman descent. In fact, pretty much a lot of people in the region of Norway, for example, or Scandinavia and such, technically moved to Normandy, mainly because that's actually where the name comes from. In fact, the term Normandy is a meaning of the lands of the Northmen. In fact, the French called it that because this is technically where the Northmen established themselves. So, yeah. In fact, it evolved from this to this, which technically you could see how this helmet would later on play into many cultures. In fact, this design would actually be used by more than just one group. In fact, it would be technically used mainly by most of Western Europe, until it would later on be replaced by the Great Helm and then the bassinet. So, yeah. Now, as we can see, this model design would even have different designs that would evolve from this. In fact, if we take a look in different versions of history, it's actually stated that the Normans who established themselves in the regions of Italy and such, and the rest of the entire known world of Europe, it's actually stated that they had actually created different versions of helmets. So, yeah. Now, though, this model, though, was the most most copied, so we can see why this one would probably be used a lot more than the other helmets. And as well, technically, the regions of England, Scotland, and including Wales, France, as well as Germany, and parts of Spain, some say, and Portugal, or technically during the time of the Reconquista, and as well Italy and such, actually adopted these helmets for their military. In fact, the last time these helmets were supposedly seen would technically be during the time of the Crusades, sometime during King Richard, or sometime even long after that. But still, though, these helmets were incredibly gifted to their form. But yeah. Anyways, guys, hopefully you liked this video. If y'all want to buy one of these, be my guest. As I stated, I will leave it in the description down below with the information on these. As well, guys, also check out our Facebook, and as well like and subscribe, so that way y'all can actually help the channel grow. And also, as well, click that bell button for notifications, so that way you all can know when the next upcoming video comes out. Anyways, guys, this has been Templar. Have a great day.
Mm-hmm.
y'all are still here? Even at the end of the entire thing? Well, I gotta give you credit for that. Have a nice day. How long are y'all gonna be here?